Okay, Keely, you've had a session with me before. Hey.
Yes.
Yes. So you remember that these sessions are not a test. You don't have to worry if you can't remember something. All you have to do is tell me what you remember and enjoy yourself. Take a deep breath. Relax and smile. Yes, I want to see that smile. Great. Okay, let's get started. Okay, Keely, can you see the lesson?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. What is the present perfect? What do you understand by the present perfect?
It's used to talk about the action that happened, but it hasn't finished yet or unfinished time. Life experience, unfinished action or state, and past action with present consequence.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to get, that's very good. I like that. I agree. I've just given you a simple definition here next. What does it say there? Definition of the present perfect is, go ahead.
Present perfect is used to talk about an action that happened in the past but is still continuing at the present.
Okay, so let's have a look at your instructions. Use the picture of the places, okay, to create a question using the present perfect. So you're going to be creating questions by looking at the pictures, okay, using the present perfect. Okay. Can you create a question about Singapore? Present perfect question here.
Have you ever been to Singapore?
Yes, I have. I have been to Singapore. Have you ever been to Singapore? Have you ever been to Singapore, Keely?
No, I haven't.
It is so hot in Singapore. It can be very, very, very hot. It's like a heat wave. It's like, you know, when you are cooking on your stove and you get something and you open the stove door and you feel the heat on your face. It's that hot. It's very, very hot in Singapore. Beautiful place. Okay, what about Bali? Have you been to Bali before?
No. I haven't.
No, okay. Okay. Can you, let's have a look here. Where have you been on holiday during your life? Okay. Present perfect question. Yeah. So can you make a question? Look at it, it says, where have you been on holiday during your life? And now you're going to use the present perfect to make a question about Bali. Can you do that? Have
you ever been on holiday during your life?
Okay, and now can you make a question about Bali? Have you ever?
Have you ever been to Bali?
Yes, have you ever been to Bali? Do you want to take a guess? Do you think I've been to Bali? Yes or no? Have I been to Bali? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. I stayed in Bali for 11 days in 2015. I was there. I was in Bali. Have you ever been to Bali?
No, I haven't.
No. Okay. Where have you traveled, Keely? Have you been anywhere else? Have you traveled?
I haven't to Malaysia, Batam, and
Yeah.
Pontianak.
Oh, cool, cool. Do you like traveling? Do you like traveling?
Yes, I do.
Me too. Me too. Okay. I'm going to give you a word here. Okay. Can you say this word?
Adventures.
Adventurous. Do you have any idea what adventurous means? Adventurous. Do you know what that means?
I don't know.
Okay, adventurous means I like to try new things and visit different places. So what does adventurous mean? What does adventurous mean?
I like to try new things and visit different places.
So are you adventurous, Keely? Are you adventurous?
Yes.
Yes, me too. Me too. I also like trying new things and visiting different places. I am also adventurous. Okay. Have you ever been to other countries in the world? Have you ever been to other countries in the world?
No. No, I
Okay.
haven't.
Okay. Do you know how to say travel traveling sorry Fichi, 1 minute. Do you know how to say I travel across the world or all over the world? Do you know how to say that? I travel all over the world. Do you know how to say that in an easy way? You say
I don't know.
I like, what does it say? I like
Traveling internationally.
Okay, I like traveling internationally. I like traveling internationally. Can you say it again? I like.
I like traveling internationally.
Okay, so that means, okay, I'm going to teach you a couple things here so you won't forget it. Okay, a nation. A nation is a group of people. Okay. What is a nation? What is a nation?
Nation is a group of people.
Okay. So a nation is a group of people. Okay. A nation is a group of people. Okay, it's gonna make sense in just a few minutes. Okay, a nation is a group of people. Okay, next we'll say groups of people live all over the world. What does the next sentence say?
Groups of people live all over the world.
Okay, groups of people live all over the world. So, 1 second. So, groups of people live all over the world. So, now let me ask you, I like traveling internationally. That means I like traveling all over the world. Okay, internationally, you can see a nation is a group of people. Where do you find groups of people? Where do you find groups of people? Where can you see them? Where do they live?
Internationally.
Yes. So where can we find groups of people? Groups of people live
all over the world.
Okay, so if I tell you I like traveling internationally, that means, okay, I live here. If I say to you, I like traveling internationally, that means I travel there, 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 I travel everywhere. So I like traveling what? What's the word?
Internationally.
Okay. Do you want to travel internationally one day? Do you want to do that?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. Okay, me too. Me too. One day we will. Okay, back to it. Malaysia and Singapore. Can you make a present perfect question about Malaysia and Singapore?
Have you traveled to Malaysia and Singapore?
Have you ever traveled to Malaysia and Singapore? Yes, I have. I have. Coming from where I live, do you speak Chinese, Keely? Do you speak Chinese?
No.
No. Okay. Because I was going to. What is my country in? What is my country in Indonesia, Fitri? What is? How do you say South Africa in Indonesia?
In Indonesia, Afrika Selatan.
Yeah. Okay. Afrika Selatan. Okay. Afrika Selatan. I fly to Singapore. I land in Singapore, and then I fly to Malaysia. That is how I came to Malaysia. I fly from Afrika Selatan to Singapore to Malaysia. So yes, I have traveled to Malaysia and Singapore. How long did it take? So from what is South Africa again, Fitri?
Afrika Selatan.
Okay, Afrika Selatan. Did I say that right, Keely?
Yes.
Afrika Selatan.
Yes.
Okay. Afrika Selatan to Singapore, 8 hours.
8 hours.
Then 3 hours to then 3 hours to Kuala Lumpur, 3 hours to Kuala Lumpur, and then another 3 hours to where I lived. So altogether about 14 hours.
14 hours.
Long out. Yeah, 14 hours. I was tired. I was exhausted. It's so tired. I was tired. Very, very, very long flight. Okay. Which countries have been in the news a lot lately and why? Now you're using the present perfect to make an answer. So now we are creating an answer using the present perfect. Can you do that for me? Which countries have been in the news a lot lately and why?
Russia and Ukraine have been in the news a lot lately because they have conflict each other.
Okay, have been in the news a lot lately because they are in conflict with each other. Do you know what's an easy word for conflict? You know what's an easy word for conflict?
No.
Fight. If I have conflict with someone, that means we are fighting or we are arguing. Conflict. Conflict. Okay, very good word that. Okay, so now how would you describe war? Do you think war is a good thing?
No.
Okay.
It's frightening.
Okay. Frightening. Frightening. Okay. What's the second word I wrote there?
Awful.
Awful. Awful. You know when something is so bad that you go, that means awful. So you say war is awful. War is awful. Next word is, what's the next word?
Destructive.
If something is destructive, it means it breaks things. So what happens to cities during war, Keely?
Destructive.
Yeah, they get destroyed. Buildings and cities get destroyed in war. So we say war is destructive. It destroys things. Okay, what's the next word?
Dreadful.
Dreadful.
Yeah, dreadful.
No, the next word is?
Terrifying.
What is it?
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
Okay, Terrifying means the same as frightening. Same meaning. Frightening and terrified or terrifying is a similar meaning. Okay. To help you understand terrifying, okay, you know those bad people that make people afraid. Do you know about those people? Those people that hijack airplanes. Do you know what we call them in English? We call them terrorists. Can you say terrorists?
Terrorists.
Tell me, Keely, do you think terrorists are frightening? Are terrorists frightening?
Yes.
Yes. Terrorists are frightening and they are
Terrifying.
terrifying. Okay. Terrifying. Okay. I'm going to tell you an old English word now. It's a word that my grandmother used to like saying.
Ghastly.
Ghastly. Ghastly. Can you say ghastly?
Ghastly.
Say the war in between Russia and Ukraine is so ghastly. It means it's so bad that it shocks you. You're like, oh, that's so bad. It's ghastly. It's ghastly. Okay, cool. Next. Let's see if we can make some sentences with those new words. Okay, let me make this a bit smaller. Okay, can you make a sentence using the word frightening?
The word is frightening.
Okay, very good. The war is so frightening. The war is so frightening. I agree with you. It is frightening. Okay, what about awful?
That city look awful.
That city looks awful. That city looks awful. That city looks awful. Well done. Okay. What about destructive? Destructive.
Their action is destructive.
The ocean is destructive. Yes, it can be. The ocean is destructive.
He said their
Yes.
action.
Their actions. Okay.
Yeah, their action.
So-
That's the suaranya. Their action.
Their actions are, because we're using plural, more than one. So one action, many actions. So the actions are, their actions are destructive. Go ahead. Their actions are what? Their actions are
Their actions are destructive.
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 okay. What about terrifying?
The bomb is terrifying.
Okay, the bomb is terrifying. Is terrifying. The bomb is terrifying. The bomb is terrifying. These are good sentences. Well done. What about ghastly? Tell me about war using this word.
The war is ghastly.
Yes, the war is ghastly. That's a good way to use that word. The war is ghastly. The war is ghastly. Okay. Tell me about the war. The war is?
Ghastly.
The war is ghastly. Okay. So now use some of those words that I've taught you to talk about these different things. We've got war, accidents, disaster, and crime. Use any of the new words I've taught you. Any word describing bad.
The war is frightening.
The war is frightening. Excellent. Accidents.
Kecelakaan.
You can use any of those words that I taught you. Accidents are any word here. Accidents are
Accidents are awful.
yes, accidents are awful. Accidents are awful. Accidents are awful. What about disaster?
Disaster
Disaster.
is costly.
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 Okay. That disaster is ghastly. That disaster is ghastly. Okay. What about crime? Crime.
Crime is destructive.
Yes, crime is destructive. Crime is destructive. Very good. Crime is destructive. Well done.